Hello and welcome, I'm Vincent with Central Tutors, and today we're going to be learning how to solve questions with indices. So, first let me show you what an index actually is. It's just an easy way of writing a multiplication. For example, x to the power of 4 is just going to be equal to x times x times x times x. So this power is just telling us how many times we need to multiply our term. And from this rule, we can deduce all of these laws of indices. So let's get through a few examples. So the first rule is telling us that when we multiply two of the same terms, we need to add the indices. So for example, x to the power of 4 multiplied by x to the power of 3 is going to be x to the power of 4 plus 3, which is x to the power of 7. This next rule is essentially the opposite of that, because division is the opposite of multiplication. When you divide two of the same terms, you need to take away the indices. So say x to the power of 5 divided by x squared is going to be x to the 5 minus 2, which is just x to the power of 3. This next rule here is telling us that when we take the power, we need to multiply the indices. So for example, x squared taken to the power of 3 is going to be x to the power of 2 multiplied by 3, which is x to the power of 6. This rule is a bit trickier, but essentially all it's telling us is that when the power is a fraction, then the bottom number is what you take the root to, and the top number is what you take the power to. So for example, say we have x to the power of 4 over 3. The bottom number you take the root to, so that's going to be equal to the cube root of x. But then the top number is what you take the power to, so that's all going to be to the power of 4. And now the final law is that when you have two numbers multiplied and then taken to a power, you can take them both to the power individually. So for example, say we have xy to the power of 6, that's just equal to x to the power of 6 multiplied by y to the power of 6. Now, all of this is quite a lot to take in, but we're going to attempt a few practice questions and hopefully you'll gain some confidence. Let's try and simplify this expression here using the laws of indices. So first, looking at the numerator, the top part of the expression, we see we're multiplying two terms. So we want to use this law over here. And let's start off doing that. So that's going to be x to the power of 2 plus 6 over x to the power of 5. And next we see that we just have a division. So we want to use this law over here, and we simplify this top to get x to the power of 8. Now because of the division, we need to do minus 5, and it becomes clear that we have x to the power of 3. And that is our final answer. So let's do another example. This time this one's a little bit more complicated, but we'll go through it step by step. So first we want to do what's in the brackets, and we can see that we have a multiplication here. So we need to use this rule, even though we have fractions. So what we'll have is, we'll have x to the power of 3 over 2 plus 1 over 2, and then that's going to be plus x squared all over x. So we can see here that we can simplify this to 4 over 2, and that's just going to be 2. So we have x squared plus x squared over x. And at this stage, you can either add the top or you can choose to divide through first. But let's start by adding these two. Because these are two of the same terms, this is just going to be 2x squared over x. And now we can use this rule here again, because we have a division. So we have 2x squared minus 1, because even though there's no indice written here, this is actually always x to the power of 1. We just choose to omit it. So we can see that's going to be equal to 2x, and that is our answer. So let's get to another example. We can see that we have brackets, so let's start inside. And here we see that we have a multiplication. So we need to use this rule over here, and we get x to the power of 2 plus 3, that's all over x, and that's all squared. So next what we need to do is, we can see there's a division here, so we need to use this rule over here. And simplifying, we'll get x to the power of 2 plus 3 that's x to the power of 5. But now there's an x below, so minus 1. And then that's going to be all squared. Now let's simplify in the brackets. We have x to the power of 4 all squared. And this time we have a power to a power. So we need to use this rule over here. And we see that we need to multiply the indices. So we have x to the power of 4 multiplied by 2. That's going to be x to the power of 8. Thank you for joining the Central Tutors tutorial, and please follow the link in the description for more videos on Lat 5 and our website. Thank you and see you soon.